He's big, he's bad, he's insanely powerful, he's an absolute menace, and he just so happens to have the sickest tattoos in all of anime, period.
Period.
And I'm more than prepared to debate this with anyone who has a contrary opinion. Spoiler alert, no one does.
DJ Tenebroso.
What's up, anime fans and manga readers? We have yet another video for you today on one of the latest and greatest phenomena to grace the anime landscape. You already know what I'm talking about. It's Jujutsu Kaisen. And this time we're narrowing our focus onto one of the series' primary antagonists, Ryomen Sukuna. While there's no doubt that the heavenly-eyed special grade sorcerer Gojo Satoru is the most popular character in Jujutsu Kaisen, a strong argument could be made that Ryomen Sukuna isn't that far behind, and for good reason too.
He is dead serious.
So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into what makes the character of Sukuna so enthralling to audiences and what makes him one of the most powerful and most feared characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. First off, who exactly is he?
Who are you?
Sukuna undisputably stands as the most formidable being in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and this has been the case as far back as 1,000 years ago. Recognized as the unchallenged king of curses, his name resonates as the epitome of supernatural power across the world of sorcerers and curses. Legend has it that Sukuna was an anomalous cursed spirit born during the Heian era. But as it turns out, those accounts are wrong. Sukuna was actually once a Jujutsu sorcerer, but one burdened with an unfortunate title, the Disgraced One, or Dayton. Back in the golden age of Jujutsu, top-tier sorcerers threw down against him, giving it their all to take him out, but one by one, they fell at his feet like dominoes. However, if you throw something against the wall enough times, it might just stick. And stick it did. Eventually, the sorcerers of the time got the better of him, and they were able to take him down and kill him. But Sukuna, being Sukuna, it was only a matter of time until he returned. He played the long game. After kicking the bucket, he pulled a fast one and split his power into 20 fingers. Yes, you heard it right. 20 fingers, not 10. In his lifetime, Sukuna was so infused with so much cursed energy that it began to transform his physical form into something decidedly less human. Sukuna's true form can be described as a demon with 4 arms and an extra pair of eyes under his main ones. And of course, those incredibly sick tattoos that cover so much of his body. So there you have it. 4 arms equals 20 fingers. And here's a cool tidbit. Sukuna's first name, Ryomen, literally translates to two-faced, and while Sukuna can be deceitful, it's not just a metaphor. It perfectly captures his vibe, both in the literal, with his second pair of eyes and everything, and figurative sense. But yeah, coming back on track here, each of his 20 fingers was imbued with a fraction of his consciousness and scattered all across Japan for safekeeping by the Jujutsu sorcerers of the era. And that was the end of the menace of Sukuna. For the time being. Eventually, as we all know, Jujutsu Kaisen begins when one of these fingers is stolen from its stronghold and Megumi Fushiguro is sent to look into it. Through a couple of hijinks and mishaps, Yuji Itadori, the protagonist of the series, ends up gobbling down on this finger. Excuse my phrasing.
Nonsense! I have had enough! Enough!
And Sukuna reemerges. At least, a fraction of him does. Talk about a comeback. Now, this sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? The main character of a shonen anime serves as the host to an ancient and powerful demon who they have to keep in check and build some sort of symbiotic relationship with. I assure you, you're wrong. The relationship between Itadori and Sukuna is far from symbiotic, and Sukuna is way too much of an absolute villain to come around like Kurama did with Naruto. Sukuna exhibits a notable lack of concern for the repercussions of his actions, even when they impact his host, Yuji Itadori. He consistently taunts Yuji, labeling him a brat and deriving amusement from Yuji's lowest moments on multiple occasions. In fact, he'd physically appear as a mouth on Yuji's face just to berate him. you've got to admit that just reeks of hater energy, and his levels are off the charts. Sukuna has such a flippant disregard for human life, often referring to them as insects or being confused that they struggle to cling to life despite how fragile they are. He is incapable of comprehending the idea that beings who could fall apart at a single touch desire happiness and love. He is so far removed from the human experience that he has forgotten what it felt like to be one of them, one of us. And this cold cruelty is part of what makes him so dangerous and so feared, even among the most powerful sorcerers. And there's no greater showcase of this than in the highly acclaimed Shibuya Incident arc of the anime/manga. Spoilers for the latest season of Jujutsu Kaisen follow beyond this point, and if you are uncultured or uninitiated, you might want to skip ahead. In essence, the more fingers Yuji consumes, the stronger Sukuna's presence becomes. And boy, does he consume a lot. In the Shibuya Incident arc, while the curses go on their unhinged rampage in the Shibuya district, Yuji is force-fed a bunch of fingers, and the total tally consumed by him goes up to 15. 15! In other words, 75% of Sukuna's full consciousness was active and running around. And boy, oh boy, even at a fraction of his full strength, the presence is immediate. His imposing, sinister aura is instantly felt all across the region, and as you can imagine, chaos ensues. In his battle with Jogo, the volcanic cursed spirit, and one of the strongest characters introduced thus far, most of Shibuya is vaporized, and Sukuna barely even breaks a sweat. The thing with Sukuna is that he acknowledges strength above all else, and while he kicks everyone's butts eventually, he is not too proud to admit when an opponent has potential. Megumi, Jogo, and Gojo Satoru have all been acknowledged by the King of Curses, and that alone is a feat in its own right. Sukuna is also not just an absolute tank physically, he has a variety of destructive curse techniques in his arsenal. So many that it would take another entire video to go over each one. And that's only for what mangaka Gege Akutami has revealed so far. We know he has more up his sleeve, we just don't know what they are. Sukuna is also one of the most brilliant tacticians and battle strategists in the series, with hundreds of years of experience to draw from. He's smart, psychologically manipulative, like when he ripped Yuji's heart out of his chest to get him to sign a binding contract to let him control his body without his knowledge, and absolutely always in control of the situation. Undoubtedly, such a character is bound to be difficult to defeat. Near the start of the series, Gojo Satoru tells Yuji that in a battle between him and Sukuna at full strength, he'd win. I'm sure the manga readers can't wait for you all to see how that one turns out. Do you agree with our analysis? Maybe there are some menacing details about Sukuna that I left out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring the notification bell to get regular updates on new videos. I make awesome anime and manga content like this every week, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.